Hi guys, today is my birthday, so I would like to talk about something that I recently promised to one of my students. So yesterday I was talking to Rebecca and I was telling her that we all make a lot of mistakes, and so today I want to talk about making mistakes. So do you know what is the difference between robots and humans? Well, the difference is that humans are more prone to making mistakes, and just because I'm also human, I also make a lot of mistakes, okay? So as usual, I'm going to tell you a story, and this time we are going to talk about one of my stupendous blunders. By the way, this is what we do in our class as well. I give certain examples, basis my learning, of either successes or failures. Basically, every experience I believe is good as long as there's some learning in the experience. And since I continue doing a lot of things, trying to have as many experiences as possible, of course I end up making a lot of mistakes. So here it goes. This story is about the mistake that I made at the start of my corporate career. Okay, so this was my first real job, and before that I had a startup for a couple of years. So basically I was doing everything in the way I wanted, and the other experience was a couple of months of internship in Thailand where I had a lot of fun. All this is to say that when I was in this first corporate job after my MBA, I was not really prepared. Probably intellectually, okay, I was prepared, but experience-wise, no. And plus, as my mom always says, I wasn't mature. Okay, but she believes that I'm not even mature today. That's a different story. Anyway, coming back to the story, I was 23 years old. In this company, there was this training period at the start, and there were a lot of trainees like me. And at the end of the training period, we were all supposed to give a presentation documenting what we had learned, what could be improved, and what was good, etc. So now, since we had graduated from prestigious universities, it's an important point, not the prestigious universities, but the fact that we were directly put in managerial positions. So basically that means that this presentation was to be done in front of the top dogs of the company. Now, understand that they told us at the start that we had to give a very good perspective of our learning and how we could improve the company, the turnover of the company, which was in billions, by the way. So now, I'm under pressure, but I'm a super hungry startup experience guy. So obviously, what do? I go all out. I took a house close to the project. I made my workplace my home. I was super active. I was talking to everyone. I had my eyes and ears open at all times. I would go to socialize, be the cool guy. At least that's what I thought. And then with the seniors of the project, I demonstrated why I had the big university degree and I was not just a drinker. Okay, coming to the presentation day, I was too energetic. You see, like I'm speaking sort of faster also today, but I was too energetic and too eager to do good. Everyone else was also playing the card they were good at. For example, someone was good at office politics, etc., which I, being too straightforward, wasn't good at, didn't understand at all. Again, an important point. Now, the fact is that I was an immature, a bit too energetic and emotional guy, so guess what happened on the presentation day? Energy, eagerness, immature equals disaster. Okay, this is how I start my very honest presentation. As an MBA, it is expected from us to just give a presentation about our understanding of the project, things we have learned, the organization structure, etc. Of course, the business language. But I want to talk about some serious things, some real things. I got everyone's attention and they asked me questions. And I answered all the leading questions honestly, too honestly. And I talked about all the things that were not working in the most important project of the company with all the details. I told them how the project was not up to mark in front of the people responsible for the project, basically questioning some of the top management regarding their control on the most important project or their lack of control. And they were in front of me, I know. And oh my God, you won't believe it that honestly at the start I felt that I was killing it until I realized I wasn't. And then I didn't know how to stop. And then, oh my God, you get the point. It was mind-blowingly stupid. Anyway, the presentation finished and one of my immediate seniors, a really amazing, cool guy who was actually worried about me, he took me out to the president of my department to help me out. I remember him telling me like just to shut up and that I have spoken enough for the next 2-3 years of my career. Of course, I have like vague memory of all these things because I remember my ears were turning red because I was sort of realizing the gravity of the fuck up I had just made. Now, just before leaving, the president summarizes the whole thing in a line for me, and that's why he was the president. Okay, he says, Abhishek, you made a very good presentation today with a very good and important, really important point showing exactly why you were hired, but you just made a small mistake. You chose the absolute wrong audience. Now that was my mistake. And now let's talk also about the consequences. Because it's not a movie, so nothing was forgiven. I had to go through a lot of shit in the next months. I was moved to another project 43 kilometers from the location, where I was welcomed by a half-brain boss who announced he was told to fuck my life in order for me to quit as soon as possible. My life became a fucking hell. I mean, not just physically because of the 18 hours of work and travel in a day, but also mentally because it was very taxing. I made this mistake. Instead of going towards the top, I was at the bottom, and I felt alone for the first time because my parents and my friends weren't there to help me. The next many months were about proving myself and maturing and clawing my way back, not just through hard work, but through real improvement and through real realization of my mistake. I actually learned very deeply that it's not just about honesty. It's not about the facts. It's also about how you present. It's also about the people to who you are talking to, and much more so. And maybe for some of you it would be like, really, you didn't know about it? No, I didn't know about it. Okay. Anyway, so the moral of this long story is that, guys, you will make a lot of mistakes, and if you want to do something big in your life, of course you will do newer things. You will make a lot of mistakes, but the thing that you have to make sure is that you actually learn the lessons so that you can work on them. You can actually improve yourself, so that finally when this situation represents itself once again, and it will, then that time you will be ready and you won't repeat this mistake. Now, needless to say, there's something called vicarious learning, meaning you can learn from the mistake of others without having to commit them yourself. So please do that. For example, don't make the same mistake that I made. Okay. The only thing is keep learning, guys. Make mistakes, but keep learning.